I am a big believer in leverage, and MCPs is one of those concepts that give you maximum leverage when working with LLMs or Gen AI in general. Let me show you how. This is an example I think most people could relate to. I'm hoping to bring an example that will be accessible, I think, to the audience I have here on the channel. Now, on the screen, we see a basic Python logic. This is a business analytics logic most people could relate to. I'll talk about what it does. This is a class. This class has a couple of functions, a couple of methods. The very first one is to calculate ROI. How many times have you been asked, or if you look within your business system, you will see some logic to calculate ROI. It takes a couple of parameters. It does calculate the ROI and it returns that to us as a result. Next is we're trying to analyze customer segments. Next, we will forecast revenue. These are things that most people would do. And then next, we could calculate KPIs. Now, you can imagine maybe reaching out to APIs. You could imagine sending out emails. This could be all business logic you've written over the years and is available to your organization. Now, how do we expose this to an LLM? So if I'm in Claude, if I am in Gemini, if I am in whatever your favorite LLM is, when I say calculate revenue, I understand that it's going to use the calculate revenue logic unique to your business to calculate revenue. And it's not just going to make up its own way of calculating revenue. You can do that using MCP. So what MCPs allows you to do is to take this, wrap it up in a way, in tools, essentially give it as a tool to your LLM. And now your LLM can calculate ROI the way you calculate ROI. You can just reuse this logic. Let me show how that can be done. The way we're going to do that is leveraging FastMCP. If you're not familiar with what FastMCP is, I would say it's almost the equivalent of Fast APIs. It's a way to rapidly build MCP servers without having to do it at a low level. So I've written an article about this. I'm going to leave it in the description below. Go check out FastMCP. If you have MCPs and you want to expose them as tools, I think FastMCP is one of the fastest ways, no pun intended, for that to happen. So in here, we'll simply go and import FastMCP, very straightforward. We're going to instantiate our business logic class, and then we're just giving it basic decorators. That's all it is, basic decorators, MCP.tool. So now we're exposing calculate investment ROI as a tool. Now, what is investment ROI? It's this logic from here. So this logic is being exposed now as a tool. And I'll show how this looks like when we are done. And we're going to do the same for all the tools. So in this case, we are going to end up with 4 different tools. One tool is calculate ROI. The next tool is analyze customer segments. The next tool is focus business revenue. And then the next tool is to calculate business KPI. And you can have as many tools as you want. If you want a tool to reach out and, for example, get weather information, you can. If you have a tool to call Google and do a search on a particular query on your API, you can just simply expose that as tools, add as many decorators as you want. That is it. And I'll come back and show an example of what that looks like. So for now, let's work with these 4 tools. Hopefully the point is clear. Let's maybe repeat this again. 1, we have existing logic, and 2, we want to expose existing logic to the LLMs. And what we're going to do here is this by simply using a decorator on each of those functions. So next, with our logic in place, let's see how we can leverage this logic, this proprietary logic, this custom logic to do our calculations. And this is something that is not exposed to the LLMs yet. We're going to see how to do it within Cursor. And then I'm going to show you the fun part, which is to take this, register them as tools within any LLM you use, and amplify your results. This is what the promise is. So next, let's open this up. I'm going to get in here and we can bring this to the context and say use the MCP server. And the reason why I would do this, and you really don't have to do this, would be so it can instantiate the MCP server class to then calculate ROI for us. And this is the unique way we calculate ROI within the organization. So now this is run successfully, and now we have a result. If you went into ChatGPT and say calculate ROI for me, the logic wouldn't be this. The logic is not what your company uses, what your business uses. So we're using something unique here for business. Now we've had a return, investment details, ROI metrics, and it gives a key insights. And we know that is coming from here. So really cool. If you want to analyze customer segments, you can do the same. If you want to do things like forecast revenue, you can also do the same using your own business logic. Now, what if I want anybody to have access to this? This is where it becomes cool. So let's close this. We're going to close this. Now we know we have an MCP server here. I'm going to just delete all of this to keep things clean. Let's leave the cache. So we know we have this MCP server. We know we registered the tools. Now what we can do is we're going to go back into cursor settings, go to cursor settings, tools and integration. Now we have MCP tools. We're going to want to register this as part of an MCP tool. So click at new MCP server, and with this basic line of code, let's paste this in here with a comma, and voila, that is all we need. So what are we doing here? We're telling it we're going to register a new set of tools, business logic tools, and reference the code base for where we have it. You don't have to reference it explicitly the way I do, but just essentially reference the code base. Just for the sake of it, let me use Python 3 here as opposed to this. And that's all we need. So save this. Let's go back to Claude settings. Now, what do we have? We have 4 new tools that have been registered. And those 4 tools, if we open them up, we have the calculate investment ROI, analyze customer segments, forecast business revenues, and calculate business KPIs. Now, anybody using Claude, whenever you come in, because it's registered, you have these tools available to you. This is powerful. Imagine being a tradesperson without tools, without your hammer, without your nail, without your saw, without your jigsaw. You just cannot get your job done. And as data professionals, as tech professionals, MCP gives you the tools to get the job done. Whatever the job you need to get done, that is what this gives you. So that said, let's go back in here. I'm going to open up a new chat, and let's do that prompt again, just as we did before. Calculate ROI over. In this case, let's change this to what give me 80s, and go ahead and run that. So what you will notice is it's going to do, and it's using a set here called calculate investment ROI, and it passed in these parameters, and now it's calculating investment ROI for us as such. This is the leverage that MCP gives you. Now, assuming you don't want to calculate investment ROI, assuming we wanted to, I think what other tool do we have? We wanted to forecast business revenue, right? Let me just follow up your forecast revenue. Now, what am I saying? Now it's calling forecast business revenue, and it should be able to help us forecast business revenue using the forecast business revenue tool unique to your business, unique to this logic, and the LLM is just helping us do that. Now, for most people, you might say, well, I like this, but cursor is not my environment of choice. Maybe your environment of choice is Claude or something different, and you want to be able to come into Claude and do the same thing. And the beauty of it is you can do it. So what we're going to do is let's go back in here, open this up. I'm going to copy this line to expose to MCPs, because the beauty of MCPs is their commonality. Let's go into a Claude. We're going to go to settings, and we want to go to developers, find your config, go ahead, edit your config. Let me open this up with cursor. Now here is a Claude config that we have. I mean, to this, we just add a new line here, and that is it. That's all we need. It's that simple. With this simple line of code that anybody in Claude can do, we now are giving Claude powers. We're now giving Claude tools to work with. So save this. Once you've done that to your Claude.config, go ahead and save that. I will go back to Claude just to show you how we're doing this in real time. And you're just going to want to restart Claude so that it can read and have access to the new config files. So Claude has restarted. Usually there's an error. You'll get the error showing up here. So we didn't get that. I think that's a good sign. Click on this, scroll down. We now have 4 tools available for us in Claude. My Claude has just become more powerful than your Claude. I hate to say that, I'm saying it in jest, but this is the power of tools. My Claude has tools that your Claude doesn't have. So you can see the different tools if you want to disable them, if you want to be able to keep them. So let's keep it and say, hey, calculate ROI for, let's do 50,000 over 15 years. Let's just do that as an example. This is, if you put this into your own prompt, your results, let's allow always, will not be the same as mine. Now, because I have that tool available, it's being able to leverage the tool. You can see it's passing the parameters, and now it does calculate the ROI for us. It gives us the result, and this is powerful. This is unique to us. Let's actually, just for the sake of it, copy the same prompt. I'm going to go in just to show that this is all happening in real life. So let's disable all of these tools just for now. So that's disabled. Go ahead and put the same prompt. Here we see 25,000, 50%, and that's the annualized ROI. If we run this with that tool disabled, so it doesn't have access to that tool anymore, now it's doing something. But if you were to run your business based on this, that would be a problem, because this is not your custom business logic. And that's why it's very important, especially for businesses that have very custom business logic built over decades and decades and decades of enterprise knowledge, that you want to rely on your custom tools. You want to be building these custom tools. It just reminds me of how businesses used to build APIs. And my, I think it's Amazon back in 2004 or so, Jeff Bezos, or maybe 7, I think it's around 2007, wrote a memo about exposing everything as APIs with services. So you're either consuming a service or you are a service provider with REST APIs. And to me, I think organizations really need to be thinking about exposing their logic either as tools, a tool provider, or a tool consumer. And MCPs allows us to do that at scale. So this result is, this is not what we want. So let's go back and make sure we have that tool enabled. And if I run this again, we should see it identifying and using that tool. So now it's using the tool, which is essentially what we want. It's giving the request to it. It gets a response, it interprets a response. It's actually doing an if-else statement. Then I say, what if I invested, let's do $5? I know that's small for same time period. And I'm doing this to show that once you have a tool, you don't have to tell it to specifically use the tool. Just write in natural language, and it should understand how to take your natural language, convert it to the parameters of the tool, do its work, and then bring back the results to you. That is the big promise about this. So it's done that. We now have a result right here within my tool. So I don't have to, if you don't use Cursor, if you don't use an IDE, and you're just a business user, you can essentially use this. Now I can say, if I had another tool to send an email, I could say calculate the investment ROI, put that into a PDF, and send it to an email to my customers that are most likely to churn. Or you can say update my CRM based on this. So you have these tools that could be orchestrated to not just use your business logic, but they can go out and take action, send emails, check the internet, create form, talk data, whatever it is you can imagine. I would think about encapsulating that as tools, giving those tools power to work within your ecosystem or outside of your ecosystem. And then you can string that up into a very powerful workflow. So hopefully this gives you an idea. I know a while back I did a demo around generating thumbnails using MCPs, and that was using Gemini and a whole lot of orchestration. But I think not everybody generates thumbnails, and a demo like that maybe doesn't hit home. I wanted something that would hopefully people can relate to. Again, you have a custom business logic. The only thing you need is FastMCP on this. you expose that as tools with one-line decorators. That is it, just one-line decorators. Now MCPs know exactly how to use this. Any LLM that supports MCP, and this is why MCP is so powerful, it's a common framework. Now can use your tools and your experience becomes more powerful. So hopefully this was helpful. I think this is such a fascinating place. The challenge for people now is thinking, what tools should you build? How many tools should you have? Should you have 5 tools, 100 tools, 1,000 tools? That's something to think about. And those are topics I'll touch on in future videos to expose. I think there are certain patterns you can adopt around this, and there are anti-patterns you want to stay away from because too few tools, that's a challenge. Too many tools as well could be a challenge. So there is a balance, there is nuance to this. And what is the best architecture? What is the best approach? Those are things that we can touch in future videos. Let me know, comment below, leave a like, subscribe, share this with somebody. And if I see the signals that people want this, I will make the videos and I'll share some of those. All right. As always, thank you for watching and sticking to the end. This is Fru. I'll see you in the next demo.